this is not wrong. Okay, so this is Sonnet 128, CXXVIII. I picked it because it says music in it, and I was like, well, obviously. Because I've been setting my sonnets to music for a number of years, which number I've forgotten. And because I've been reading in the Fairest creatures ever since they started, but I didn't set them to music first. So after I actually read this one, instead of just glancing at it, I realized that it's basically about, it's written from the perspective of someone who's crushing on a musician, which, as a musician, crushes on musicians, relate, but also, it's more from the perspective of someone who doesn't play music, I think, which is not a perspective I can relate to. But there you go. Maybe some of you can. Anyway, here it is. How often now my music plays upon that blessed wood, whose motion sounds with thy sweet fingers when thou gently sways the wiry concord that mine ear confounds. Do I envy those packs that nibble me to kiss the tender inward of thy hand? Was my poor lips, which should that harvest reap, at the wood's boldness by thee blushing stand, to be so tickled they would change their state and situation with those dancing ships, o'er whom thy fingers walk with gentle gait, making dead wood more blessed than living lips. Since saucy jacks so happy are in this, give them thy fingers, me thy lips to kiss.
Good evening. My name is Julie Boyd. This is sonnet number 129. The expensive spirit in a waste of shame is lust in action until action, lust is perjured, murderous, bloody, full of blame, savage, extreme, rude, cruel, not to trust. Enjoyed no sooner, but despised straight, past reason hunted and no sooner had, past reason hated as a swallowed bait, on purpose laid to make taker mad. Mad in pursuit and in possession so, having and in quest to have extreme, a bliss improved, a very woe. Before, a joy proposed, behind a dream. All this the world well knows, yet none knows well, to shun the heaven that leads men to this hell.
So it's Michigan or Corcoran, no Dennis Corcoran and Birrell. And I was told there were going to be a number of the Irish speakers here tonight. So would you raise your hand if you're an Irish speaker?
I've been to Ireland.
Then you spoke some Irish because you went to Dublin, yeah.
I know.
Valia Clea. Everybody gets plenty confused by that mess. Okay, well I won't be, I may not read it in Irish.
Now do it.
Well, you start. So I have to start off with a bit of meditation. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun? If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses I see in her cheeks. And in some perfumes, is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks? I love to hear her speak. Yet, well, I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go, but my mistress, when she walks, treads the ground. And yet, I think my love as rare as any sheep alive with false compare. Well, now you're in for it, so Sonnet, Hector, ta fotito, immediately. That's a subtitle. The subtitles are Grog on Dafu, which means his love without coloring. Nilis agam anta, I don't know the rules of why. So, now Kususu Molon and Puan Greene. Sharon and Cora? No, Ruth. Schnacktemas Vaughn. Abrola San Takir. Masrena Falls Serena Dua Agruik. Smorosa Hank, Jared Greene the Bong, and Rost Marshini Legno Agrua. Kuanarish needs no evening town. The shelter on a veil, Lahaina Hagen. Is Bynum here, Walsh. Royal du Ja, woman, Schwab, Martin, Wasney. Now, Walker's boundary of Schul anymore, or Paul? A Schul, the Russa, a Bon, a Tarl, Pia. His boss. Darnell. Scobro, Lomon, La Shia, Mirafa, a Greg of Irish.
Good evening. My job is to read Sonnet 131 by William Shakespeare. My name is George Birrell. This Sonnet 131 is rather short, but it is complicated, and much of it is the writer Shakespeare having questions about what he is writing. So I will read the Sonnet 131 as written, and then give you the essence of the message Shakespeare is trying to give. Thou art as Tyrannus, so as thou art, as those whose beauties proudly make them cruel. For well know thou, to my dearest doting heart, thou art the fairest and most precious jewel. Yet in good faith some say that thee behold, thy face has not the power to make love groan. To say the air dare not be so bold, although I swear it to myself alone. And to be sure that it is not false, I swear 1,000 groans, but thinking on thy face, one on another's neck do witness bear. Thy black is fairest in my judgment's place. In nothing art thou black, save in thy deeds. And thence this slander, as I think, proceeds. Shakespeare was a perceptive observer of people. Shakespeare saw that some people were considered to be beautiful in some aspect of their living by many other people. In contemporary times, such an attractive person could be a film or TV personality, or a famous sports person, or a person often seen in public life from afar. A person who is seen as attractive and who knows that other people are attracted to him or her may develop a ruthlessness to persuade some of their admirers to satisfy a personal desire. A key word in this sonnet, 131, is tyrannus, meaning marked by unjust severity to others, which can develop further into arbitrary behavior to others. From the flowery writing of an Englishman, I mean Shakespeare, I give you a plain Scottish warning. Beware of people you admire, because such a person may try to use you to their advantage. My little commercial is that I do presentations of Scottish poetry from half an hour to 2 hours, and if anybody knows of groups who would be interested in hearing such a presentation, I'm sure Kirk would put you in touch with me and we can talk. Thank you.
So my name's Hector Fernandez. I picked up a couple poems on the last session, and this one's going to be a lot harder because my wife's here now, and I think she's going to be filming it. So I think you can tell we're well into the Dark Lady sonnet at this point, and this one is of that genre, where he was writing about a lady with darker skin. And so what's interesting about it, this one is fairly simple. He's sort of being pitied by his lover because she doesn't know each other's love. And, but, you know, he manages to convince himself that if her heart can only pity him as much, then maybe they have a chance. So, but it is interesting to see how he plays with blackness, and especially, you'll be hearing a lot, I'm pretty sure you've already heard the word black a lot, and how he kind of uses it as a thing of great beauty and a thing of disdain as well. So, anyway, this is 132. Thine eyes I love, and they, as pitying me, knowing thy heart torments me with disdain, have put upon black, and loving mourners be, looking with pretty ruth upon my pain. And truly, not the morning sun in heaven better becomes the great cheeks of the east, nor that full star that ushers in the eve, doth half that glory to the sober west, as those two morning eyes become thy face. Oh, let it then as well beseem thy heart to mourn for me, since morning doth thee grace, and suit thy pity, like in every part. Then shall I declare beauty herself, is black. And all we've taught is thy complexion. Thank you.
More on the Dark Lady. It's funny that we call her the Dark Lady because Shakespeare never calls her that. That's been handed down to us by, I presume, English professors through the ages who couldn't bring themselves to call her what Shakespeare calls her, black. That's the only adjective he uses for her, and it's the same adjective he uses for Othello and Aaron Moore. The chick was black. 133, we're still talking about this now. She and the young man, the object of so many of the sonnets, are getting together behind Will's back, after Will's already been involved with her. And Will writes a lot of sonnets about this. The thing you really got to marvel about is the sonnet is 14 lines and 10 syllables per line, so it's 140 syllables. Every single one of these is 140 syllables. Astonishing. Be shrewd that heart, that makes my heart to groan for that deep wound it gives my friend and me. Is it not enough to torture me alone, but slave to slavery, my sweetest friend was me? Me from myself thy cruel eye hath taken, and my next self thou harder hast engrossed. Of him, myself, and thee I am forsaken, a torment thrice threefold thus to be crossed. Prison my heart in thy steel bosom's ward, but then my friend's heart let my poor heart bail. Whoever keeps me, let my heart be his guard. Thou canst not then use rigor in my jail. And yet thou wilt, for I, being pent in thee, perforce am thine, and all that is in me. Amen. I say, we're doing the Shakespeare workshops here on May 26th. We're doing sonnets, and I have a whole lot more to say about the Black Lady if you want to drop by. And then on the 27th, we're doing soliloquies in the morning and scenes in the afternoon. It's going to be a blast, so come on back.
So I picked one that I thought, well, maybe I can do something with this as words like mortgage and surety, and I'm like, well, there are interesting things going on in it. Maybe there's something funny in here. And using words like mortgage wasn't funny. But then so I went to Dan's session last week to prep for these sonnets, and I found that Dan had a whole different view that I could read this sonnet 134 in. And that is that when you're talking about the mortgage and you're talking about the debt that's been paid, that perhaps we're actually talking about the syphilis that's been spread. So, from that point of view, I'm going to share with you Sonnet 134. My name is Ken Walsh. So, now I have confessed that he is thine, and I myself am mortgaged to thy will. Myself I'll forfeit, so that other mine thou wilt restore to be my comfort still. But thou wilt not, nor he will not be free, for thou art covetous. He is kind. He learned with surety like to write for me under that bond that him as fast doth bind. The statute of thy beauty thou wilt take, thou user that puts forth all to use, and sue a friend came debtor for my sake. So him I lose for my unkind abuse. Him have I lost? Thou hast both him and me. He pays the whole, and yet I'm not free. just one shameless plug for me. My full-length production is being produced by Switchard Theater Company in July. Come and see it. It's a good comedy. If you want to see good comedy, they're also doing The Tempest the next 3 weekends. That's written by William Shakespeare.
Hi, Christopher Bynum, and it occurred to me that when I was driving up here tonight, this is the first sonnet reading that I've done in person since before the pandemic. So hopefully I don't have too much rust on me from all the virtual readings. So tonight I'm reading Sonnet 135. Whoever hath her wish, thou hast thy will, and will to boot, and will in overplus. More than enough am I that vex thee still, to thy sweet will making addition thus. Wilt thou, whose will is large and spacious, not once vouchsafe to hide my will in thine? Shall will in others seem right gracious, and in my will no fair acceptance shine? The sea, all water, yet receives rain still, and in abundance addeth to his store. So thou, being rich in will, add to thy will one will of mine, to make thy large will more. Let no unkind, no fair beseechers kill. Think all but one, and me and that one will. The only shameless plug I have is just to say that my 6-year-old son is awesome. So.
Hi, my name is Sharon. I'm reading Sonnet 136, and then I will read it in Hebrew. Hopefully not stumbling too badly. If thy soul check thee, that I come so near, swear to thy blind soul that I was thy will, and will, thy soul knows, is admitted there. Thus far for love, my love suit, sweet fulfilled. Will fulfill the treasure of thy love. I fill it full with wills, and my will one, and things of great receipt with these we prove. Among their number, one is but none. Then in the number nothing pass untold. Though in thy stores account, I one must be. For nothing hold me, so it please thee hold, that nothing mean as something sweet to thee. Make but my name thy love, and love that still, and then thou lovest me, for my name is Will. Im levarech v'za'ach yanater, im rilo v'suma, zerat natan. Hu lo yika'as v'natan hu yivater, va'az uchel liyot lach v'chatan. Et v'zarech ki imalei natan, umatanot yikdosh milo chatila. Hin motoch, Hashabafa od echad katan, lo yechashev mikshol la'ahava. Gam I besuf, hechshbon bamla yimuni, kini li vein hasvarot, lehistater, ephes eye basach, bechach yeroni, bechok nafshich to hab, oti yoter. Lo belavek, ot ibit, vishni, mishhan, oti tivai, tov, oti tovi, ho, kaf, ki, shmi, natan.
I was enjoying just sitting there. My name is Granville. My name is Granville John Hedrington, and I'm reading. Hey. That's my name wrong. Okay. That's it? You sure? Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm reading Sonnet 137. Thou blind fool, love, what dost thou to mine eyes that they behold and see not what they see? They know what beauty is, see where it lies, yet what the best is takes the worst to be. If eyes corrupt by over partial looks be anchored in the bay, we all men ride. Why of eyes falsehood hast thou forged hopes, whereto the judgment of my heart is tied? Why should my heart think that a several plot, which my heart knows a wide world commonplace, and mine eyes say this is not? To put fair truth upon so foul a face, in things right, truth, my heart and eyes have eared, and to this false plague it is now transferred. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Atkinson, and I'm going to be reading Sonnet 138, which I believe is about truth and consequences. When my love swears that she is made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies, that she might think me some untutored youth, unskillful in the world's false forgeries. Thus vainly thinking that she thinks me young, although I know my years be past the best, I smilingly credit her false-speaking tongue, outfacing false in love with love's ill rest. But wherefore says my love that she is young? And wherefore say not I that I am old? Oh, love's best habit is a flattering tongue. And age in love loves not to have ears told. Therefore I'll lie with love, and love with me, since that are false in love, thus smothered be.
Hello, I am Liz Elliot.
And I'm Michael Elliot. We're married.
We're very happily married, and the only time it's difficult is when we're trying to do stand-up comedy or when we're trying to read and interpret Shakespeare sonnets that are written about a partner with a wandering eye. So we were practicing these over our table, and it just evolved into this situation where it became this unhinged marital fight. So
I'm going to read 139, and Liz will be responding with Sonnet 140.
So, without further or much ado, my husband, Michael Elliot.
Oh, call not me to justify the wrong that thy unkindness lays upon my heart. Wound me not with thine eye, but with thy tongue. Use power with power. Slay me not by art. Tell me thy lovest elsewhere, but in my sight, dear heart, forbear to glance thine eye aside. What needest thou wound with cunning, when thy might is more than my o'er-pressed defense can buy? Let me excuse you. Ah, my love, well knows her pretty looks have been mine enemies, and therefore from my face she turns my foes, that they elsewhere might dart their injuries. Yet do not so, but since I am near slain, kill me outright with looks, and rid my pain.
So the response is saying, don't upset me too much, or I will drag you. Everybody, exactly why I'm as mad as I really am. And this is written before social media. Come over here so I can feel mad. But look at me like mine. That's hard. Be wise as thou art cruel. Do not press my tongue-tied patience with too much disdain, lest sorrow lend me words, and words express the manner of my pity-plain pain. If I might teach me thee wit, better it were, though not to love, yet love to tell me so, as testy sick men when their deaths be near, no news but health from their physicians know. For if I should despair, I should grow mad, and in my madness might speak ill of thee. Now this ill resting world is grown so bad. Mad slanderers by mad ears believe it be, that I might not be so, nor thou be lied. Bear thine eyes straight, though thy proud heart go wide. Thank you, and I'll give a really quick shameless plug. I came to this from meeting Kirk Benrud, who is a volunteer with the North Carolina Reading Service, and I am now part of the staff there. I'm the development coordinator, and we are a nonprofit radio station that broadcasts news and information around the clock to an audience that is blind and print impaired. And this is our 40th year. We're very, very proud. And our fundraising gala is September 15th, so please mark your calendars. You are all invited to attend, and you can watch our socials and our website, ncreadingservice.org, for tickets. Information on tickets and all kinds of celebration that's happening at the gala this year. So thank you very, very much.
And I'm a freelance writer, and you can find out more at michael-elliot.com. That's with 2 L's, 2 T's. So.
My name is Phil Lewis. I will be reading Sonnet 141, which is about masochistic love. It's, it says that you don't look that good, you don't sound good, but I'm too stupid to not love you, and it's so bad that it's like having a disease and it's painful. That's if you look on the good side. In faith I do not love thee with my eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors note. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who in despite of few is pleased to dote. Nor are mine ears with thy tongue's tune delighted, nor tender feelings to base touches prone, nor taste, nor smell desire to be invited to any sensual feast with thee alone. But my 5 wits nor my 5 senses can dissuade one foolish heart from serving thee, who leaves unswayed the likeness of a man, thou thy proud heart's slave and vassal wretch to be. Only my plague thus far I count my gain, that she that makes me sin awards me pain. Yeah, the kind of woman you really want to know, right? Okay, I will also be reading Sonnet 142. Having read this, it seems that even back in Shakespeare's time, people engaged themselves in both hanky and panky. They have been together and it has broken off. He's still in love, she hates him, and I think he basically comes around and says, oh yeah, if you ever want to get me back, I hope the same thing happens to you. So Sonnet 142. Love is my sin, and thy dear virtue, hate. Hate of my sin, grounded on sinful loving. Oh, but with minds compare thou thine own state, and thou shalt find it merits not reproving. Or if it do, not from those lips of thine that have profaned their scarlet ornaments, and sealed false bonds of love as oft as mine, robbed others' beds revenues of their rents. Be it lawful I love thee as thou lovest those with whom thine eyes woo as mine importune thee. Root pity in thy heart, that when it grows, thy pity may deserve to pity thee. If thou dost seek to have what thou dost hide, by self-example mayst thou be denied.
I knew I shouldn't have sat down. I really only carry this stick so I can beat people. The limp is very much a put on. So you guys heard Dennis read in Irish. Dennis has actually written a play, the name of it, The Conversation. And it's a conversation between Queen Elizabeth I and the pirate queen, whose name is You guys got that? Okay. Well, we had a Zoom reading of it with one of our Sunday afternoon Shakespeare readers who lives in England, and with somebody who's going to follow me with the next sonnet, reading the part of the Irish pirate queen. And Dennis was along listening so that if they had any questions, they could pose it to him. And I was there to read the part of the third character, okay? Because the guy that I had lined up for it had a conflict. But anyway, one day or another, we're going to read that in Zoom again and invite everybody that wants to come along and listen. Okay, Dennis writes well. Nicola, like I said, lives in England. She reads Shakespeare plays with us every Sunday, and didn't she do a bang-up job? And you haven't lived till you've heard Marcia do an Irish accent. But anyway, so that there's a play called The Dark Lady of the Sonnets, written by George Bernard Shaw back about 1910. And in this play, Shakespeare has gone to meet up with the Dark Lady, but it's dark out, and he accidentally stumbles into Queen Elizabeth and thinks it's her. Okay. And I will say no more because it's maybe a 30-minute play or something, and one day or another we'll do something with that as well. And the last thing I wanted to say, North Carolina reading service, usually with the sonnets, I do somewhat of a plug for that, and most of the time, 8 or 10 sonnet readers ask me, how can I volunteer to be a reader there? And our numbers grow. It's really kind of surprising the number of people that do that and do this both, or it has been over the years anyway. Okay, so that's all. Those are my shameless plugs. This sonnet kind of takes what Phil's sonnets were talking about this, I love this lady that loves somebody else, and kind of takes it to the ridiculous as he's fussing at her about it. And he says, look, as a careful housewife runs to catch one of her feathered creatures broke away, sets down her babe, and makes all swift dispatch in pursuit of the thing she would have stay, whilst her neglected child holds her in chase, cries to catch her whose busy care is bent to follow that which lies before her face, not prizing her poor infant's discontent. So runst thou after that which flies from thee, whilst I, thy babe, chase thee afar behind. But if thou catch thy hope, turn back to me and play the mother's part. Kiss me, be kind. So will I pray that thou mayst have thy will, if thou turn back, and my loud crying still.
Hello, my name is Kate Bloom, and I'm Corcoran, and we are reading Sonnet 144. Two loves I have of comfort and despair, which like two spirits do suggest me still. The better angel is a man right fair, the worser spirit a woman colored ill. To win me soon to hell, my female evil tempteth my better angel from my side, and would corrupt my saint to be a devil, wooing his purity with her foul pride. And whether that my angel be turned fiend, suspect I may, yet not directly tell. But being both for me, both to each friend, I guess one angel is in another's hell. Yet this shall I ne'er know, but live in doubt, till my bad angel fire my good one out.
I am Marcia Sofley, and I am doing 145. And my slight spin on this is that I am a mother talking about my child. You can guess the kid's age. Those lips that love's own hand did make breathe forth the sound that said, I hate, to me, that languished for her sake. But when she saw my woeful state, straight in her heart did mercy come, chiding that tongue that ever sweet was used in giving gentle doom, and taught it thus anew to greet. I hate! She altered with an end that followed it as gentle day doth follow night, who, like a fiend from heaven to hell, is flown away. I hate! From hate away she threw, and saved my life, saying, not you.
Hello again, I'm still Brook. I have nothing to plug. But this is 146, this is the one I actually did sign up for, although it probably will be no better. Couple sort of interesting things about the sonnet. It is the only one that's explicitly religious, which is sort of interesting. But also the second line actually there's a printer's error in the second line, and so we don't actually know what was intended. This version has pressed with as the beginning of that line. This version has feeding these as the beginning of that line. If you look it up online, you might just see like maybe a ... telling you that we don't really know what the right words are, but that's hard to read. So we're not going to do that. I'm just going to use the feeding because that's the one I've at least read a few times more than the other one. But there we go. That's the boring stuff out of the way. Hopefully the words speak for themselves. Poor soul, the center of my sinful earth, feeding these rebel powers that thee array. Why dost thou pine within and suffer dearth, painting thy outward walls so costly gay? Why so large a cost, having so short a lease, dost thou upon thy fading mansions spend? Shall worms, inheritors of this excess, eat up thy charge? Is this thy body's end? Then, soul, live thou upon thy servant's loss, and let that pine to aggravate thy store. Buy terms divine in selling hours of dross. Within be fed, without be rich no more. So shalt thou feed on death that feeds on men, and death once dead, there's no more dying then.
I'm Jack Socket, I'm reading 147. The way I look at this is like if you have a cat, we have cats, 2 cats, and you love the cat, but it makes you violently ill. But yet it's still cute, so you keep coming back to it and you realize it's Satan. My love is as a fever, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease, feeding on that which doth preserve the ill, the uncertain, sickly appetite to please. My reason, the physician to my love, angry that his prescriptions are not kept, hath left me. And I, desperate now approve, desire is death, which physic did accept. Past cure am I, now reason is past care, and frantic mad with evermore unrest. My thoughts in my discourse as madmen's are, at random from truth, vainly expressed. For I have sworn thee fair, and thought thee bright, wert as black as hell, as dark as night. And I just want to thank Kirk for including me in this. This is like my second year only. I'm a newbie to the South. And also my plug is, I did a horror film called Smile, which has been out for a while. You can also watch it, rent it, please rent it, get some commissions, so it helps me financially. And that's it. And it's great.
Good evening, my name is Vaughn. I'm reading 148. Oh me, what eyes hath love put in my head which have no correspondence with true sight? Or if they have, where's my judgment fled that censures falsely that which they see aright? If that be fair upon whereupon my false eyes dote, what means the world to say it is not so? If it be not, then love doth well denote love's eye is not so true as all men know. How can it? Oh, how can love's eye be true that is so vexed with watching and with tears? No marvel then, though I mistake my view, the sun itself sees not till heaven clears. O cunning love, with tears thou keepst me blind, lest eyes well seeing thy foul faults should find. I first came to the Sonnets several years ago. It was well before the pandemic. I found it on a handbill at the Seymour Center in Chapel Hill. This was not something you found online or events. This was not in the back of the independent stage kinds of things. So thank you to whoever put up that handbill. I love live theater. All right, no, that's absolutely it. I love live theater. I seek it out, and I have for years. And the number of times when looking for those things, I looked for a play and found out about the whatever box theater it is in Wake Forest, and looked for a comment to try and find a time to see if I could fit it in on a matinee and then family obligation, and then found out about a play that I'd seen no notice of anywhere that was at the Seymour Center this time, 2 miles from where I live. I am going to be in the chorus for the HMS Pinafore. That is a summer stock. It's in the second half of August over at Meredith College. I don't know where that is, so I hope you all can come. But to sum up and to put this in the bottom line, the implicit encouragement that Kirk gives, not just for Shakespeare, but to do any of these live things. These are my notes of plays that I would have loved to have found out, and I have not found them out online. But by coming to these events, I found them out. So to sum up, thank you, Kirk, for all that you do.
Good evening, I'm Sean Doyle, and this is Sonnet 149. Canst thou, O cruel, say I love thee not, when against myself with thee partake? Do I not think of thee when I forget and am of myself all tyrant for thy sake? Who hateth thee that I do call my friend, and on whom frownest thou, do I frown upon? No, if thou lourest on me, do I not spend revenge upon myself with present wrong? What merit do I in myself respect, that is so proud thy service to despise, when all my best doth worship thy defect, commanded by the motion of thine eyes? But love, hate on, for now I know thy mind, those that can see thou lovest, and I am blind. So just a real quick shameless plug. So May 13th, I'm reading at a poem that I wrote at the North Carolina Poetry Society. It was a finalist for the North Carolina Poet Laureate Award. When I showed it to my wife, she said, you get a B. And I think she was probably like, what?
I'm Bob Chapman, and I live down the street. And if you see a red-haired woman looking desperately, she's looking for me because I've been here since 7 o'clock. But I did that intentionally because I wanted to find out how this is done. You know, what's the procedure? And I'm going to be reading Sonnet 150. If I can find my glasses. Oh yes, Liz and Mike. I used to work with Liz. I think we haven't seen each other in about 1.5 years.
Ish, yeah.
She was my producer at WCPE, the classical station.
That's right.
When I did the Thursday night opera house. I'm a retired, held in baritone. It's a heroic baritone. We're the guys who sing very loudly, mostly in Wagnerian operas. I promise I will not sing Sonnet 115 in that style. Oh, from what power hast thou this powerful might, with insufficiency my heart to sway? To make me give the lie to my true sight, and swear that brightness doth not grace the day? Whence hast thou this becoming of things ill, that in the very refuse of thy deeds there is such strength and warranties of skill, that, in my mind, thy worst all best exceeds? Who taught thee how to make me love thee more, the more I hear and see just cause of hate? Oh, though I love what others do abhor, with others thou shouldst not abhor my state. If thy unworthiness raised love in me,
more worthy I to be beloved of thee.
I gotta follow Gandalf, this is great.
So I don't know why I'm here, because I don't read scripted things other people wrote. I'm an improviser. I improvised with Kirk 30 plus years ago. We studied together, we performed together. I directed Ken, we performed together. I was Chris's improv teacher, thankfully, for 10 or 15 years ago, because he's become part of my family now. He's one of the most important friends we have. So I'm here to help them out, but I will not read these sonnets. I'm here for moral support, though. My wife was supposed to read one, but she is homesick. So, and my daughter was going to read one, but Kirk read it because she's homesick. This is Blooper.
Hello. Sonnet 151. Love is too young to know what conscience is. Yet, who knows not conscience is born of love? Then, gentle cheetah, urge not my amiss, lest guilty of my faults my sweet self prove. For thou betwaying me, I do betray my noble heart to my gross body's reason. My soul doth tell my body that he may triumph in love. Flesh stays no farther reason, but rising at thy name, doth point out thee as his triumphant prize. Proud of this pride, he is contented by thy poor drudge to be. To stand thy affairs, fall by the side. No want of conscience hold it that I call her love. For dear love I rise and fall.
Good, and ask Blooper to do two. So Blooper is drumming Uncle Lou. This is Lou Stools. Thank you for playing along. I appreciate you having fun. In loving thee, thou knowest I am forsworn, but thou art twice forthworn, to me love swearing. I swear a lot. In act thy bed thou broke, and new faith torn, in vowing new hate, after new love bearing. But why of two oaths breach do I accuse thee, when I break 20? I am perjured most, for all my vows are oaths, but to misuse thee, and all my honest faith in thee is lost. For I have sworn deep oaths of thy deep kindness, oaths of thy love, thy truth, thy constancy, and to enlighten thee gave eyes to blindness, or made them swear against the thing they see. For I have sworn thee fair, more perjured I, to swear against the truth, so foul a lie. Otherwise, you can find Blooper on YouTube. If you look for Blooper Puppet, he does lots of movie quotes and stuff. And Lou has a TikTok, tickety-tock. If you go on TikTok, you can find Letting Go with Lou Stools.
Not to follow Puppet. Also very cold. Kurt asked me to read this last night, so we'll see how it goes. Cupid lay by his brand and fell asleep. A maid of Dion this advantage found, and his love kindling fire he quickly steep in a cold valley fountain of that ground, which borrowed from this holy fire of love a dateless lively heat still to endure, and grew a seething bath which yet men prove against strange maladies a sovereign cure. But at my mistress' eyes love brands new fire, the boy for trial needs to touch my breast. I sick with him, the help of bath desired, and thither hide the sad distempered guest. But found no cure. The bath for my help lies where Cupid got new fire.
our mistress's eyes. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Alice Osbourn, Osborn.
Little love God wants to sleep by his side's heart flaming bright, whilst many nymphs that proud chase love to keep tripping by, but in her radiant hand, oh, Fairest gonna reach around that fire with many legions of true hearts at war. So the general of heart desire was sleeping by a virgin and a song. This bread she quenched, cool little light, from which love's fire took heat perpetual, growing a bath and helpful remedy for men disease that I, my mistresses, brought, came there for cure, and by that I grew. Love's fire heats water, water cools not love. Love's fire heats water, it heats all the water. It heats the water, water cools, not love. There's Kirk.
Thank you.
Sure.
So something that a lot of people don't know is that South African scientists have discovered that 400-year-old tobacco pipes excavated from the garden of William Shakespeare contain cannabis, suggesting the playwright might have written some of his famous works while high. That's from the Telegraph. It was credited. So this is sonnet number 155. Let me not, to the ripping of sweet reef, admit impediments. Bud is not bud, which hath stems grow and insufficient leaf, or lots of stems and other kinds of crud. Oh no, it hath crystals like unto snow, fallen upon Mount Blanc's o'erwhelming peak, moss of Olympus, Poseidon's hydro, nor too wet nor too dry, and yet it reek. Bud's not merest cannabis sativa, though botanists Swede christen it thus. Bud chaseth off harsh vibes with a cleaver, except if the dealer was a bit sus. If this be error, and upon me smit, I never toked, nor no man e'er got lit. Sonnet 156. Shall I compare thee to a purple haze? Thou art far kinder. We're talking righteous bush. Rough kids do snatch the darling buds
from May's. And summer's lease is up. Landlord equals douche. Where then will I find thee, honeyed Kaya, when my cursed suppliers do run out? Perhaps succor shall I beg of Maya, although she hath a tendency to shout. Dime bag or nook, I'll lie on the carpet and smoke my spiff, or in sooth just a roach, for Anne is full vexed. Lay off, please stop it. One whiff of ganj, and anon she encroaches. So long as dudes can breathe and birds have feather. Huh, that rug really ties the room together. Sonnet 157. This is it. I don't know how to do the rest of it. Went to the sessions of sweet silent Vaughn. I summer up remembrance of dues past. Methinks I trounce his worship Tommy Chong, for my wheat game shall not soon be outclassed. Tetrahydrocannabinol, thy glow, thy vapors curl from Delphi's oracle, that even the sun god himself says, whoa. And I'm not being allegorical. Call thou the strain, 12th night, or what you will. This will knows the primo cheeb from the junk. Off gooey, train wreck, or perhaps space Jill, purple Urkel, voodoo nay, pineapple skunk. The joints burning low, so let me be frank. All the world's a stage, and stages be dank.